What's up? I'm AJ, and welcome back to Gen Z Garage.
In a previous video, you saw me install my newly restored Decklid, but I never actually showed you what I went through to restore it. Although I really didn't get any before pictures, I've sharpened this image from my very first video where I am showing the inside of the engine compartment. If you look carefully, you can see there are two metal support brackets that were bolted on and then glued to help support the cracked fiberglass. I've circled these in red. The Decklid straps were also broken, with the upper halves glued to the underside of the hinge to keep them out of the way. Oddly enough, this Decklid has broken in a way that it's not normal for the Decklid to break. It's completely opposite from any other Fiero Decklid my dad has ever seen in a junkyard. My dad's theory is that the Fiero was likely towed backwards, and it's possible that the Decklid was not properly latched down, and it led to the Decklid catching wind and breaking backwards. Okay, before I start, it's important to understand exactly what the Fiero is made out of. Beyond all the other parts that make up the Fiero, the body panels themselves consist of four major materials. The hard plastics are actually a type of fiberglass called SMC, or sheet molded compound. Shown in purple in the diagram, this is basically fiberglass and is repaired in a similar way, but it uses a different hardening agent. Next is two kinds of reaction injection urethane. The softer, more flexible kind is used for bumpers, while the harder, more rigid version is used for the door panel, front fenders, and lower quarter panel. Last but not least, the ground effects and chin spoiler are made of Thermo-Plastic, shown in blue. It is absolutely important that you understand which one you're repairing, because they all use a different epoxy and chemical hardener. Unfortunately, my dad bought the hardener for the injected molded urethane and not for the sheet molded compound. As you can see here, although we hadn't yet sanded it down to shape it, what we had used was still flexible and was not at all appropriate for repairing the Decklid. Do not use the 3M compound, even though it says it's for SMCs. It's only for the doors and bumpers. Instead, use only the PlastikWorks SMC fiberglass resin. It's a little expensive, but it absolutely is the correct chemical hardener to use on the Fiero's hood, Decklid, and roof panels. Okay, with that out of the way, we first remove the Decklid. Make sure you place it on a solid work surface where it won't fall off. In my case, I placed it on two sawhorses. I then begin removing the support brackets that the previous owner installed to properly brace the Decklid. There's one on both the right and the left side. While I'm removing these brackets, this would be a good time to tell you about the SEMA Action Network. SEMA is an organization that supports you, the automotive hobbyist. Without SEMA fighting for our rights, we would very quickly lose this hobby. I'd like to let you know about a legislative effort that SEMA is supporting, the Right to Repair and Modify Law, also known as the Repair Act. House Resolution 1566 seeks to ensure consumers have access to data relating to their vehicles and access to critical repair information and tools related to the motor vehicles they purchase. This is critical to ensure we can continue to properly maintain and modify our vehicles without having to pay a monthly subscription or service fee for a vehicle that we've already purchased. Please help support the SEMA Action Network. Go to SEMA.com and click on Advocacy to learn how you can get involved and help support the hobby. Okay, back to the Decklid. With the support brackets removed, the next thing I need to do is drill into the cracks. This may seem crazy, but it's necessary to prevent the cracks from spreading further. It also provides more surface area for the repair resin to grab onto. I drill at the beginning and the end of every crack that I see, along with a few holes in the middle of the crack. I do this to both sides of the Decklid where the damage is similar. Next, I use an orbital sander to sand down the damaged areas. There's a couple of things I'm doing here. First, I'm eliminating the old adhesive and rust left over from the brackets. Second, I'm grinding down the top layer of the material. The SMC resin can only adhere to exposed SMC fibers and will not stick to areas that still have paint, so I need to remove about 1/16 of an inch to expose enough area for proper repair. And finally, I also use the sander to dig into the crack where needed to expose clean material for the resin to adhere to. With the surface prepped and the damaged areas fully exposed, I begin mixing the PlastikWorks SMC fiberglass resin. Make sure you read the instructions properly. It's a two-part process where the resin is mixed with the hardener. Use too much hardener and it'll dry before you can apply it. Use too little and it'll never dry properly. With the resin properly mixed, I begin applying it liberally to the exposed areas. It's important to really fill in any cracks and gaps that were left by the sander. I work the resin material into the cracks and start to build back up the layer of material. I then let this dry for a full 24 hours. The next day, I begin hand sanding the excess material. I use a combination of a small handheld block sander as well as using my fingers, working the sandpaper into the corners. Proper sanding is key here. Any imperfections you leave behind will stand out after you paint it. Although I don't have any video of it, the next step is to completely strip down the underside of the Decklid. I removed all hinges and all the rubber grommets and even the stickers. I used Goo Gone with a green Brillo pad to scrub away the old adhesive. Again, preparation is critical for a good paint job. With the Decklid ready, I then spray and clean the entire underside of the Decklid with paint prep. This is a type of degreaser that gets rid of oils, waxes, or anything else that might affect proper paint adhesion. This goes on, wipes off, and dries. You do not need to wash it afterwards. I ended up painting the underside using Mar Hide's Black Satin Automotive Trim Coating. This matches the correct original paint and finish under the hood and Decklid. It's so correct that they even have a picture of a Fiero on the spray can. I finish up by removing the painter's tape that protected the body-colored edge and begin reinstalling the brand new stickers. I ordered a complete sticker package for my Fiero, which was made from John from West Palm Beach. Let's watch a quick video from John.
Alright, here's just a brief overview of some of the reproduction stickers that I'm doing for the Pontiac Fiero. I created all these stickers actually in Adobe Photoshop, layer by layer, so they're not just simply photocopied, but actually done to factory specifications. In my opinion, these are actually show quality stickers. You cannot tell them from the originals from the vehicle from the factory. They're actually printed on a weatherproof polyester sheeting at a high temperature, so you have no worries whatsoever about rain or heat or moisture or anything with these. Now, someone else on the Pontiac Fiero forum, Penix Fiero forum actually, started reproducing stickers as well, and the quality isn't quite the same as the ones that I've done.
Unfortunately, he only makes these stickers every once in a while, similar to how the Trappist monks make the rare Trappist beer in Belgium. They are no longer available now, but maybe at some point in the future. Speaking of stickers, I also discovered and exposed a sticker on the Decklid that was originally painted over by the factory. The sticker says Panel Assembly Compartment Lid with a part number, and then an individual serial number. These stickers were put there by the original manufacturer of both the hood and the Decklid. You may also be noticing the repaired hinge straps. I cleaned and scrubbed the original hinges and sanded them down as best as I could. I then ordered Rodney Dickman's hinge repair strap kit. The kit requires you to install new straps and carefully hammer them down in a vise to mushroom at the end. The hardest part is getting the old rivets out, but installation of the new rivets and straps is fairly straightforward. These are still available at rodneydickman.com. With my new stickers installed and the hinges repaired, I begin reinstalling everything else with reconditioned hardware and my new trunk lock. I then reinstall the power trunk release. Hopefully this video was helpful and gave you some pointers on restoring and repairing your own hood, roof, or Decklid. It was a lot easier than I thought it would be. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Thank you again for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.